CWCD, Casual Wrestling Conversation Daily. I am your host, the notorious Dirty D, joined again. This is 2 in a row for the Queen of Casual, my better half Level Up, Lauren.
What's up, y'all?
You watched an entire Smackdown this week.
I did.
The entire, from start to finish.
I did.
How does it feel? Because you never, you always sleep at least through 20%.
Yeah.
Now, we had to do this in 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
We had to do it in a 2-day shift in order for, but you got to see everything that happened on SmackDown this week.
I did.
Okay, so in celebration of Lauren watching all of SmackDown this week, and in response to Lauren, the IWC had a shit fit. They absolutely have gone nuts. We have 34,000 views.
For what?
On the TikTok where we talked about Britt Baker on Friday.
Oh, wow.
So today, in acknowledgement of that, we are going to rank the SmackDown women's roster based on commercial and casual appeal. Okay?
Right.
And then with a little twist at the end. There'll be a twist at the end of the ratings, but I'll talk about that later. But every weekday, we bring you one topic, no fluff, no filler, just straight up passionate breakdowns for casual wrestling fans. If you like what you hear, join the Casual Wrestling Discord and hang out with the real ones, my casual wrestling best friends. Got a hot topic you want covered? Drop it in the comments, hit the Discord, or email me at questions@casualwrestling.com. Today's episode is sponsored by the Casual Wrestling Merch Store. We'll get more into that later, but first, let's get into the fire. So, Lauren, the IWC never ceases to amaze me. On Friday, like I said, we talked about Britt Baker, and we speculated, okay? All hypothetical. We speculated, what if she made the jump to WWE? We never said it was happening. We never confirmed it was happening. We just speculated, what if she took all of the stuff off her social media? What would be the ramification if she made the jump to WWE? And the IWC completely lost their shit, okay? And they lost it even more because I made a comment during that podcast where I said, if Britt Baker jumped from AEW to WWE, she would immediately be a top 5 women's wrestler in the entire world. Like I said, the IWC lost their shit. I can't tell you how many of the same just copy and paste comment I got of, she's not even top 5 in AEW. She's not even top 5 in NXT. You didn't even consider New Japan Pro. But once again, this is an issue of a language barrier between casual wrestling fans and internet wrestling community members. And as somebody who is successful in business and successful in creative endeavors, I understand the true meaning and definition of what it is to be a top professional wrestler. And it's not what these basement nerds want or claim it is. That's the problem. There's a language gap. It's not who flips the best. Okay? It's not who Dave Meltzer's jerking off to every week. Those aren't the best wrestlers in the world. It's not even really about wrestling. That's the problem. It's who can draw a crowd.
True. Who
can sell a t-shirt? Who could generate a buzz? That's it. That's what makes a top pro wrestler. It's not how well you fake fight. Uh-oh, he used the F word again. He said fake fight. They're entertainers.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm going to back this up right now. I'm going to back this up because here's the argument, right? Who are the top 5 best wrestlers of all time, Lauren? Let me break this down for you, okay?
All right, do it.
John Cena. A man that is known for the 5 moves of doom. That's what they've said. That's what the internet said forever. Goated. Probably greatest wrestler of all time, okay? Stone Cold Steve Austin. Once again, somebody with a very limited moveset, but he could talk real well. Yeah. And he's got a character, so he has a gimmick, and it makes sense. You know who else? The Rock. Once again, maybe have more moves than the last 2, but still a very limited moveset in terms of what the IWC wants. But he can talk. Great gimmick. Hulk Hogan, same thing, right?
Yeah.
Rinse and repeat. Roman Reigns, same thing. It's the same arguments the IWC make all the time. But the delusion that the IWC has created, that in some far-off world that they pretend to live in, where They don't have to shower and people will still want to be around them. And they can live in their mom's basements and people will treat them like kings and say how successful they are. In this world that they live in, they truly believe that wrestling in the ring, X's and O's, flips, suplexes, that is what creates the hierarchy of professional wrestling. It's just not true. I want you, Lauren, I want you to listen to this, and I want all of the IWC to pay attention when I make this next statement, because this next statement is something that if they could learn to listen and pay attention with a fresh set of eyes using this statement, they would understand wrestling so much more. And that is, simplicity in wrestling leads to greater commercial success because it prioritizes connection with the audience over complexity.
Okay. Well, break it down for me.
It just means the simpler something is, the more people can wrap their heads around it. Mm-hmm. John Cena's 5 moves of doom. Stone Cold Steve Austin's stunner. Mm-hmm. Hulk Hogan's leg drop. They weren't highly impressive. Leg drops just dropping your leg across someone's throat. But what made
it looks
them
real cool.
Yeah, what made them resonate was that the characters made them memorable and they were repeatable, right? Fans easily recall these signature moves that have straightforward setups and execution. That leads to a greater emotional connection. These complex, multi-step maneuvers that might be technically impressive, right? They'd be great if you worked in Las Vegas at Circus Soleil. But these crazy moves, casual audience members don't remember them. They don't want to recreate them. Nobody is doing Will Ospreay type moves in the swimming pool.
Yeah.
Right? And that's, to me, that's the simplest form. When you go to the swimming pool and you pretend to be a WWE wrestler, they're doing Brock Lesnar moves, right? Mm-hmm. Another guy who completely mastered the art of simplicity. Casual viewers don't remember these complex spots. Do you hear that, IWC? Casual viewers, the same casual audience that I preach all the time that the IWC doesn't want to believe, but they make up 80% of the wrestling audience. That's casual viewers. That's not the people you talk to on TikTok. Stop telling me all the people I talk to on TikTok say the same thing. Yeah, there's like 30 of you in your little nerd fucking club, okay? And y'all all have the same opinion. You live in an echo chamber and you don't understand that the real wrestling audience doesn't give a shit about flips and suplexes and how high you can jump or how fast you can run. They care about repetition, simplicity, and gimmick. That's what it is. Characters. It's character, Lauren. Character, not moves. That's what sells tickets. That's what sells merchandise. John Cena, Stone Cold, Hulk Hogan, The Rock, Roman Reigns, they all have one thing in common. Larger than life personalities.
True.
Okay? They make their characters more iconic than the wrestling ability. They transcend the business. People who don't watch wrestling still know who most of these people are. Now, let me throw you some names, Lauren. How about a Dean Malenko? You don't know who that. You don't know a Dean Malenko, right?
No.
A Lance Storm, right? Now, you know who Ricochet is because you've watched wrestling recently,
yes.
but Ricochet, Will Ospreay, these people all struggle in the commerciability of wrestling because their identities are all defined through these like technical marvels. So they connect with that small corner of the IWC who jerks off to suplexes. But for the most part, like casual fans, they don't see what everybody else, like this IWC is now heralding Ricochet as the next coming, but the casual audience doesn't connect. And that's why AEW doesn't resonate. And that's why their ratings, the IWC can't wrap their head around ratings because they think that should be the best thing on television. Mm-hmm. But like I said, simple moves, simple catchphrases. Oh, hell yeah, right? Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
From Stone Cold Steve Austin. Or you can't see me.
Everybody knows that.
Right? Or fucking hulking up.
Suck it.
Suck it. Right? Yeah, let's go more modern. Hey, okay. How about this one? Yeet. Right?
Yes.
Like, okay, how about this one? L.A. Knight. Yeah. It's the simplicity. That's what makes someone a top wrestler. Is to me, that catchphrase, when that catchphrase gets over with the crowd, a yes from Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan was the most technically sound wrestler in the world. He didn't come onto most people's radar until they started yesing. That's when he became a top wrestler in the world. It wasn't when he could do 400 different submissions and 30 different suplexes. That's the reality, right? And guess what? What? Guess who has one of these cool, catchy, neat little catchphrases that nobody else in AEW has? And a lot of people in WWE don't even have. Hey, let me show you something. Hey, what's this? It's DMD. I don't give a shit who you are. That's catchy. The dentist gimmick, it works. So I don't really care. Now I'm not even going, I went back and watched like 3 or 4 Britt Baker matches last night just because maybe I was like, maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm fucked up. I went back and watched. They're all quoting the match against Mercedes Moné where clearly you can see she was checked out. She didn't want to wrestle her.
No.
She didn't want anything to do with Mercedes Moné. She was like, I carried this company for so fucking long, and now you're going to put me in the ring with Mercedes Moné, who wants to do, here's the problem. I watch Mercedes Moné. Mercedes Moné wants to do every fucking person's move, every spot, every difficult roll up and spin and twist, and it just comes off janky, messy, and the IWC, they get all fucking excited, but the reality is, it's not good wrestling. It's just, how many fucking moves can I jam into 15 minutes? And that's not Britt Baker's style of wrestling.
Yeah.
Britt Baker will fit in WWE in a match that is very well scripted within the time and very managed through just kind of character moments.
Yeah.
To me, these technical wrestlers, they're like artists, right? But artists, they're never as popular as musicians, as like pop musicians. I look at it as like these technical wrestlers are like the avant-garde singers who they develop these small little niche communities and people go nuts and get excited.
The best ever.
But Britney Spears is fucking worldwide. Yeah. Right? And Britt Baker is kin to a Britney Spears. Look, gimmick, fucking music, DMD, all that shit.
Clothes.
It's all mainstream pop.
Like for her not being like on a WWE budget, her freaking wardrobe was amazing. Like
that's what I say all the time.
Better than WWE stars.
She is WWE written through and through. Everything about her screams, I need to be in WWE. But here's my biggest problem, right? Stop fucking listing New Japan Pro people on my videos. That's not even on my fucking radar. Like, she wouldn't even be top 35 in Japan. I don't fucking care. Nobody cares. They're not top 35 anywhere. Okay, they do flips better. Like they could all join Circus Soleil. That's great. But they're not commercially viable wrestlers. All those wrestlers come over to Japan and the fucking ratings don't change. I mean, they come over to AEW from Japan. The ratings don't change. Every time you do these Forbidden Doors, we don't see a huge spike in AEW wrestling. It's just they don't move the needle. So when I talk and I say top 5, I'm speaking about entertainment, the real aspect of what makes you good in professional wrestling, not the intangible of like, well, Io Sky does all these really good flips and stuff. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, it's how well do you connect? And Io's starting to connect, so more power to her. She's doing both. That's great. She's going to garner a big audience. But the reality is, the argument against Bianca Belair is always, she doesn't do enough moves. Who fucking cares? Like, who cares? That's not what we're watching for. We're watching for the story. Lauren, most of these people don't understand because, like, most of these dudes are single dudes who literally live and breathe wrestling. The reality is, like, we have daughters.
Yeah.
We see what they gravitate to. Our little girls aren't gravitating to these fuckers who can do flips and shit. They like Britt Baker because she's pretty. She's sparkly. She has a catchphrase that they can remember.
Exactly.
That's a portion of the audience that the IWC just completely omits, right? They think wrestling is only for 40-year-old grown men. That's what they believe, right? And that's why AEW has a hard time succeeding because they don't understand that WWE is catering to a larger audience. This is the same thing I say about NXT, right? NXT is catering to a very specific demographic. That's why everybody goes, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's not trying to sell birthday party banners.
Yeah.
It's literally trying to appease this small section of wrestling fans who are loud. And so it's great. I have no problem. I think NXT is great. WWE is the only wrestling company, mainstream I'm speaking of, that tries to reach a global base from their demographic is from like 12 years old to 45, right? And beyond that. But I mean,
that's a big group of
it
people.
Is just, and it's male. It's like people forget about people like you who you're not an avid wrestling watcher. You watch it so that we have something to talk about, something in common.
Fun. It's interesting. Like, and I enjoy the characters. I enjoy the clothes. I enjoy all of that stuff. And while I appreciate the fact that some people are really, really good at wrestling, that's not what makes me want to watch it.
But you don't know the difference in a vertical suplex and a German suplex.
No, I just know, hey, that looked really cool.
Exactly. That's my point. So they overvalue this idea that like wrestling in the ring, it's all about simplicity. It really is. Like, I'll keep saying it. John Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, The Rock, they got the commercial success because of their characters were memorable, and it's not because of the amount of moves they did, right? Mm-hmm. The Rock Bottom. Not the Rock Bottom, the People's Elbow, okay? This is the move with The Rock where he fucking kicks him, he takes the elbow pad off, he throws it in the crowd, goes back and forth, 30 minutes of setup, all to fucking hit him with an elbow. Not a real effective fighting style, but it got over with the crowd because of the theatrics.
Yeah.
You don't have to be able to be real super talented to be able to do that move. And that's the problem. And that's the reason why the IWC despises LA Knight, because LA Knight's the guy who figured out the cheat code. He looked at John Cena, he looked at Stone Cold, he looked at The Rock, he goes, "Oh, I'm just gonna do these real catchy things. And that's how I'll get over with the crowd. I don't have to do all the real technical shit that everybody else is doing."
True.
That's what's interesting to me. But
don't think I ever thought about that, but I mean that's so true. I loved LA Knight.
Me too. But that's what I say. Like, do you think that LA Knight sells more t-shirts? At one point, LA Knight was the biggest selling merch person in WWE. There was a little run where he was doing this. And so the reality is like the IWC just doesn't understand. Britt Baker has she checks all of the boxes.
Yeah.
She checks all of the boxes. She has the look. The gear is sparkly. She has the presence, the attitude. Mm-hmm. The wrestling comes. Okay? Yeah. Like, you can't be horrible. I get it. But the wrestling comes over time. Look at Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill is not great in the ring. I don't think by any standard anybody would say she's great. But I don't give a shit. She's still Jade fucking Cargill.
Yeah.
And when she comes out, I'm like, oh shit, that is fucking Storm from the X-Men.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Sure.
Like, it's just being larger than life. It's so like this getting tied up in this, she's not even top 50 in Japan. I don't fucking care. I don't watch. There is a reason I've never watched one episode of New Japan Pro Wrestling.
True.
It just doesn't, like, that's not to me. I'm watching the NBA. I'm watching the NFL. I'm watching Major League Baseball. I'm not watching some third-rate Japanese baseball league or Euro basketball. Like, I only want to see where the best go, and that's WWE. That's NBA. That's NFL. So I figure we'll do a little experiment.
All right.
Okay? We're going to rank the SmackDown women's roster, but not using the played out method that the IWC talks about, where who can do the most suplexes, who can do the most flips, who's got the best moves. We're going to rank it as casuals using the kind of commercial appeal, who has the good gimmick, really, like, it just, you know what I'm talking about. So here's the parameters. Let me break down the parameters before we get started. So it's not about who the IWC jerks off to. Take that, throw that out the window. It's not about that, okay? They like suplexes. It's going to be more about looks, which hurts a lot of people's opinion, okay?
Okay.
It's not about who TikTok wants to talk about or who your little group of buddies on TikTok, your little wrestling clique. It's not about them as well. It's more about merch sales, gimmick, buzz, just overall kind of vibe, a popularity within the casual wrestling world. Who kind of generates the buzz? Okay? So here's the tiers I came up with, okay? On top, we have box office. This is someone, main event level star power, consistently attracts mainstream attention, is going to sell merch everywhere they go. They're almost, I don't want to say they're above the company because I don't ever believe anybody's above the company, but they show up, people buy tickets for that person. They will go to see that person, okay? After that, I have what I call mainstream stars.
Okay.
And these are talents that are kind of broadly appealing. They're right. Some of them are right on the edge of cracking that box office level. They're one step below. Okay. Then I have crowd pleasers. These are people you get excited to see, but you're not buying a ticket to come see this person.
Okay.
And a lot of times when this person's in the main event, you scratch your head a little bit and go, I guess I'm okay. We probably could have had someone better, but maybe I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
And it's interesting when we get into these rankings, I think we may even disagree on this category.
I think that one's going to be hard for me because I have somebody in mind who I would put there already.
So then we have crowd pleasers.
Uh-huh.
And to me, that was crowd. Then we have mid-card, right? This makes it's self-explanatory. They're just the wrestlers who fill out the card. You need people to lose matches or to enhance other stories that are going on. Mm-hmm. Simple, right? And then I don't ever want to be disrespectful. So there's no tier where I say anybody is bad. Because if you make it to WWE, you're a legitimate professional wrestler. But I would say that there are people who appear to be casual ghost.
Okay.
Like we just don't see them.
True.
We just don't, they come out and we're indifferent about them. Mm-hmm. It's not that they're bad because I think there may be a gimmick tweak or story away from rising up these rankings, but right now they're a ghost. That's the way I see it. Okay. Mm-hmm. So let me pull up our tiers here.
Let's do it.
And we'll switch over to the tier maker here. So by my count, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 women on the SmackDown roster. Okay. Now, I ran through this yesterday. I didn't save it. I just ran through it to see where I kind of fell. Mm-hmm. And I don't even remember enough to know that if it's going to match up this time. But I think there's going to be some controversy as we go through this. Okay?
All right, let's go.
So let's get into it.
Let's get straight into
Let's start off with Alba Fire.
That's the one who's on the security team, right?
She's part of the Secret Hervis, right?
Okay.
Now, if you'd have asked me maybe 2 weeks ago.
It'd have been Casual Ghost.
She's a ghost. I wouldn't tell you. I think that just by proximity of being around Chelsea Green and upping the gimmick to having the suit,
Secret Service
stuff like that, I'd say she is. And I want to try and do this like actually in order as well. So when they're in a tier, I want to tier them. So right now, I think she's low mid card.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say
bottom of the mid card to me right now would be an Alba Fire.
I like it.
So then next up on this list here, I think these are in alphabetical order if I'm correct. It feels like that's how we're doing this. Maybe not because the last one's not, but we'll see. Alexa Bliss. This is an interesting one to me because we're ranking the roster as of March 2025. So Alexa carries a lot.
Crowd pleaser? Because I haven't seen her really do anything as of yet, and I know that she's coming back, so I feel like she's kind of restarting. If we're going like as of right now, crowd pleaser.
That's interesting.
High main or maybe mainstream.
I had her low mainstream.
Okay.
I had her low mainstream.
I could do that. Let's do low mainstream then, because I mean she's still a notable name. It's not like she went away and was no longer Alexa Bliss. So.
It's commercial marketability to me.
Okay, then yes, mainstream for sure.
She carries the little little doll.
The doll says it all. Our daughter loves the doll. I love the doll. I like the doll. I like Alexa Bliss.
And it's branding, right? It's the branding of.
I'd still buy her T-shirt. So
yeah,
mainstream.
I wear her T-shirt all the time.
I like that.
And so for me, it says a lot for someone like Alexa Bliss. Like even when she comes back, where I was having problems was she not box office? That was to me.
I would say mainstream for right now, only
Agreed.
because she's not in a big enough story role right now.
That's the argument I had with myself was there was a time she was box office.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. Because of, I saw somebody, this is just a side track. I saw somebody say she gets hurt all the time. I was like, dude, she was pregnant. I don't think that's an injury.
Yeah.
She produced, she produced another human being. Like that's not an injury. She was gone because she was living life and doing things as to be expected. And so I don't knock that. But yeah, so I'm going to go Alexa Bliss as mainstream right now, and then I'll see where she pans out as we move.
Which I think it's awesome that like her and Becky Lynch, when had babies, came back and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because like as a woman, I could see there's that dilemma. Like even Bianca Belair talked about, like you got to stop everything so that then you can do this. But
it takes
you can
a lot
miss
of
out on
dedication, I
something.
think, to come back.
Yeah, definitely.
To have that motivation to come back.
Yes.
That's the tough
For sure.
part. All right, so BFAB. This is a conversation. I
don't even know what the fuck BFAB is doing.
Well, she's in the story with Michin. She's kind of partnering up with Michin.
Okay.
Hanging around that whole story that's going on.
I like BFAB. Like low mid card?
I think so. Because I think she's
not a ghost, because I mean she's still kind of relevant. Let's say low mid card, below Alba Fire. That's only because Alba Fire's hot in my mind right now.
Because of the Secret Harvest.
Yes. And I like Chelsea Green. So, I mean, you can veto me on this one.
I think
cool.
BFAB goes above Alba Fire.
Do it.
To be honest with you. Because I think Alba Fire's trying to find her legs. BFAB is kind of... it's not letting me switch these. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So, yeah. BFAB above Alba Fire. I just think... I think BFAB's kind of coming to be. She had a match with Charlotte Flair. That's a little bit of a recognition moment to be so I think that.
Yeah.
Okay. Bianca Belair.
I mean, duh, box office.
Box office,
like,
right?
Hello.
I mean, well, there's parts of me that will argue she could be the top of the mainstream. Because her merch does not move.
But you know what I'm
that
gonna say?
Well.
She has horrible fucking merch.
It's well, I mean,
whoever has designed
her newest merch is okay.
I mean, I haven't seen her new
It's
stuff.
more trending with what like people are wearing.
Yeah.
But some of her old merch is bad.
Like they could have done so much with her merch and like made it look cute and glittery and cool, like everything that she was and exuded, and I never felt that with any of it.
I'm with you on box office. It's the merch part that almost draws her down to me. The aura, the gimmick, the in everything about like she's casual wrestling personified to me.
Yeah.
So we'll go box office.
Okay.
That then we go to the Poison Pixie, Candace Leray. She's a ghost. I mean, she's a ghost. I don't want
I had literally nothing to say.
She's the speed champion. Nobody really knows that.
No.
She is Nia Jax's sidekick, but it almost feels forced to me. And Nia Jax has kind of disappeared in the last couple of weeks. Yeah.
I'm not gonna fight you on that one. I mean, I agree. I literally had nothing to say. Like, she's not a bad wrestler. She just
the little bit of relevance she has had.
But even her gimmick with the Poison Pixie, I still don't understand what of her says I'm a Poison Pixie.
Does
that make sense?
Yes.
And maybe I'm the one who doesn't get it. Like, I don't know.
It's a gimmick for the sake of having a gimmick.
Yes.
It's not really like, what is being a fairy? What is like, what does that mean?
She could at least shoot some poison on us or like
throw some glitter in their eyes.
Sprinkle some like glitter poison, you know? That would be cool. I like that.
Glitter in their face. That might fuck your eyes up though.
It's okay.
Okay. Chelsea Green. Don't overreact. Let's talk about it.
This is when I knew I was going to have a hard one with.
So this is the one that I know is going to get me eaten up by both casuals and
what did we say crowd pleaser was?
I don't remember the exact definition, but it was
in my mind, Chelsea Green is a box office person because I love Chelsea Green. I think she's got the look. I think she's got a great personality. I think she wrestles fairly well. However, if I'm not just looking out for myself, I would probably put her crowd pleaser because she's fun to watch. But I don't think everybody loves her as much as I love her. Like,
a lot of people do love her. Here's my argument.
Okay.
And internet, you can argue with me. Guys in the Discord, you can argue with me. There is a ceiling for comedic wrestlers.
Okay.
And I just feel like it's crowd pleaser. I just feel like and Chelsea is the best. She is the best at comedic wrestling and comedic storytelling. But the reality is there is a ceiling. She's not going to win a world championship in the current state of her character. This is the United States Championship is the top level for Chelsea Green. And she said, you've gone on record saying numerous times that she's not big on championships, which is fine.
No, she'd be fine with just being relevant and being on TV every day.
I think that Chelsea Green has all of the potential in the world.
Yeah.
Okay. I think could be box office if she wanted to. But I think there's a ceiling for comedic wrestlers. For someone who is strictly just bought into the comedic. It's the same thing I say about like Dominic Mysterio. When you kind of buy in and you get typecast, you can make the argument mainstream. I don't see a ton of Chelsea Green merch in the crowd. I do think she's a little bit of a niche favorite, like you said. I think TikTok likes her. I think the internet likes her. I think she has a broad appeal, but I don't know that kids are just losing their shit for Chelsea Green. They don't necessarily understand the comedy. It pains me because, like you, I agree. If it was just based off my feelings alone, she's box office. But I think from the casual standpoint that, like I said, there is a ceiling when you're a comedic wrestler. And I'm going to put her, she's the top. I don't even think it's possible for someone to be.
Literally, when you were doing all the definitions, she was the one who was in my mind.
I agree.
100%.
I mean, I agree. And it sucks because there's going to be people who are pissed off about this. And
I love her. I love Chelsea
But
Green.
the argument I'm going to make is, explain to me a comedic wrestler who has ever really been a mainstream or box office success. Long term. Like, they have moments where they rise up. Dom did it for a little bit, but they don't. The longevity is just not there. It's just not there. Like the Santino Morellas and the characters who really thrive in comedic situations. They make us laugh. We love them. But where would you put, this is off topic, where would you put R-Truth, right? He's a crowd pleaser. He's not mainstream or box office. Even though there are times where he is the best thing on the show, it's comedic.
He is what it is. It is what it is, yeah.
Jade Cargill.
Mid-card? I don't know. Crowd pleaser?
Mid-card?
Crowd pleaser?
Crowd pleaser. I think she's a crowd pleaser. I think that another one I think she's under Chelsea.
Yeah.
I think just based on looks.
People
right?
love, when like you get excited to see her. Okay, I can say that.
She has what I call, and this is not a fair comparison. So let me go on record before I say this and say this is not a fair comparison. But this is the argument I make with LeBron James a lot. God gifted him all of the tools to be a great basketball player, right? The body, the height, the speed, all that shit. He was gifted that. Jade Cargill has been gifted. Now, it takes a lot of fucking work to turn that into what Jade Cargill has turned into.
But she just looks like a fucking goddess.
But I mean,
like,
God blessed her with all of the tools in the toolbox. Now, she had to build herself up. But yeah, so crowd pleaser. I think ultimately she sticks with it and she fucking trains her ass off. She ends up box office.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think so. But as of right now, crowd pleaser. Okay. I forget these girls' names. We're going to do them as a pair. Katana Chance and Caden Carter. They're Ghost, right?
Yes.
I mean, don't. What I don't need you to do is pretend.
I don't want to be mean.
It's not being mean because
like,
I'm not. This is not a disrespecting of their skills.
Without them. I could forget who they are. They could be replaced tomorrow, and I would never be like, "Oh my God, where did they go?"
This is not meant to be disrespectful. They both fully capable professional wrestlers, right? It's just they have the stories. They're like, I don't understand the party gimmick.
No, because it's not fully portrayed in it, and I don't even really understand like why do they have to be a tag team?
Well, I think they're. I mean, I think.
Like, I don't know anything about them. Like, I know one has really cool hair, and the other one used to wear long shorts, and she wears shorter shorts now. That's what I know.
Because I think you can make that argument about any tag team.
Well, I agree, but like these are the only
team.
things that like I'm just telling you what comes to my mind when I think of them. Like those are the things.
My argument is, they don't have a clearly defined purpose. Like, do they want to be champions or are they here to fucking party? Like to me that's like they just need better story in order to make me to move them into that mid card section. All right, we got Michin. This was tough for me. This is tough for me because
I'm torn between crowd pleaser,
bottom
and
of crowd
mid-card.
pleaser and top of mid card. That's exactly where I am. Is where do I want to define the line with Michin? I feel like in the last year,
Uh-huh.
she has earned the right to be a crowd pleaser. But then here's the problem.
What?
I look at this list.
Yeah.
And I see Chelsea Green. And I see
Cargill.
Jade Cargill, and I go,
Can you put her in the same category?
I don't think she's there.
Mid card.
I think she's
The top
she
of
is
the
the
mid-card.
ceiling of the mid card.
I like it.
That's what I believe.
We're on the same wavelengths here. I like
Sure,
it.
I think I'm casual fans, right? I'm
Mhm.
telling you, this is what the IWC doesn't understand. There's a method to our mentality here.
Mhm.
Okay, Naomi.
Oh, mainstream or box office?
No. Mine was between
Mainstream?
crowd please better than Chelsea Green.
But does she sell merchandise? Does merchandise make
so.
you mainstream?
I don't think a ton of merch is moving through Naomi.
So does merchandise make you mainstream? So in that case,
I
is
think
she
heavy
crowd pleaser?
merchandise. Wait, what?
She top of crowd pleaser?
I don't know if I don't think she's above Chelsea Green. And I like Naomi a lot. And I think in this last week, I've seen more of the best of Naomi than I've seen
Is
in a
she
long time.
above Jade?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
I think so.
I think go Chelsea then.
I think so.
Naomi.
I think so. So here's the argument I'll make. Based on the past, her entrance alone, fucking crowd pleaser.
The glow,
The
yeah.
doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, the fucking lights and the all that stuff. That to me, that is essentially crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
So she's better than Jade Cargill. I think Jade over time, and we may be seeing the kind of changing of the guard here in the next weeks towards WrestleMania. But I think right now, I will tell you though, this Naomi heel turn, holy shit.
I like her.
They nailed it. But they nailed it. Like, I didn't know she could be. She's maybe a better bad guy
Then good guy.
than she is good guy. Here's where I want to see what they do. If they pin down like good music, because it's gonna have to still feel as epic as what she had. So maybe like, she's wearing the caution tape and shit now. Let's glow in like yellow and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like if they bring it all together, she could. But I'm gonna
Put it
go
on the list.
I'm gonna go in between Chelsea and Jade
I like
for
it.
Naomi. Nia Jax.
I mean, I don't know how much merchandise she sells,
So
but she's well known.
Only go off
She's well known.
merchandise.
I think
merchandise
she's a big part of a lot of the storyline on SmackDown, right? Like everything, it was the Tiffy time with her.
So you're falling into I don't care necessarily how involved they are in the story, because
like how much do I be like, oh man, I can't wait to see Nia Jax.
yeah, it's how
Mid-card.
what?
Mid card, I'm not like, oh my god,
See,
I
I think
wait.
she's low in crowd pleaser.
All right, put it. In
I
there.
do think she can be mentioned in a list with Chelsea Green, Naomi, and Jade Cargill.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
I do believe she has that recognition.
Let's do it.
Nikki Cross.
Casual ghost.
It's a ghost, and this isn't even fair. This is a ghost because
Where's she been?
she's on the roster, but where the fuck is the Wyatt Six? They're not. They're ghosts. They're literal ghosts.
Yeah.
They're just. This is not even meant to be disrespectful. It is.
Yeah.
where that's.
It is what it is, you know.
Piper Niven.
Crowd pleaser.
Ooh, no.
You don't think
No
so?
chance.
Mid card.
What the fuck are you? Crowd.
I'm into Chelsea
Hold on.
Green right now.
Slow down. Slow down.
I'm on Chelsea Green's dick.
Nothing wrong with Chelsea Green, but
So
we gotta look-
I told you the other day when we were watching SmackDown that I did not like her. Did not like her. But
well, let's slow down because you throw the words "do not like her" around very liberally.
yeah,
Not a fan.
there we go. Not a fan.
Not
I
a
was not a
fan.
fan.
Yeah.
But ever since she joined Chelsea Green, I found a likability to her that then I was interested. So like
Yes.
mid card.
So yeah, I think it's mid card. Now it's where in mid card does she go? She's above Alba Fire because I think she's
Yeah.
more interesting than Alba Fire. I think she's above
You know more about BFAB right now. So
BFAB.
I'm gonna
She's
trust your
above
judgment on that.
BFAB to me,
But below me chin, I think.
but below Meech.
Yes, for sure.
I think that's where she goes.
Uh-huh.
All right. It's that time.
Yes, it is.
Tiffy time.
I mean, is it really a question?
It's mainstream.
She's box office.
No, she's not.
She's box
She's not.
office.
She's not. This is the problem is we overreact. She's not box office yet.
She
can
could be there.
Definitely
Yes.
can
Like
be.
they needed to bling out her Money in the Bank thing. They've had so many missed
They
opportunities.
did though.
No, but
her
like
Money in the Bank was pink.
fully, like blingity, blingity, blingity.
But I don't think they're keeping the title on her. I think she's losing to Charlotte at WrestleMania. I really do believe that. I believe that's the plan. That's why she doesn't have a pink belt yet, because that pink belt would sell through the fucking roof. You know how many pink belts they would have sold? Yeah, we'd have already ordered one.
Exactly.
We'd have. There would be one. It would be your
right
backdrop. Yeah, I mean, your backdrop would be a pink WWE title. So that's, to me, that is the telltale sign why Tiffany Stratton is not winning at WrestleMania, because you would have a blinged out pink belt already if you were keeping. Now I think the next go around, when it comes full circle and she beats Charlotte,
they're gonna do it real big.
They'll introduce all that stuff. But I think that, to me, so having said that, the question really becomes to me:
is she above Alexa?
Above
Bliss?
or below Alexa Bliss?
I mean, it's Alexa Bliss.
I don't think she's above Alexa Bliss.
I don't either.
I don't think she's
as much
earned
as it
that
kills
yet.
me inside. I'm gonna say she's below.
Alexa Bliss, when she came back, crowd immediately reconnected with her. Mm-hmm. I know I know she's disappeared again, but we know she's coming back. Like, they're just trying to figure out where
to put her, what to do with her.
Well, so really, I think what happened was she came back and they saw the connection they didn't expect, and they go, pull her off the shelf. We could save the Wyatt Six by putting her with them. Now, when do we introduce them to not interrupt what's going on in WrestleMania? That's what I believe.
True.
All right, so we've got 2 more and then 1 bonus pick.
All right.
Zelina Vega.
Yes.
That's not an option.
Yes. Mid card.
This is hard for me.
I think guys like her. I like her. I think
a lot of people like her. She's very likable, and she's
another person
connects to like the anime community.
Yeah.
If you're at all involved in like streaming or Twitch, her streams are very good.
Yeah.
So there is a marketability to Zelina Vega. The only, like, this is the same argument I had with Michin, is the same argument I'm going to have with Zelina Vega, and that is, does she belong at the bottom of Crowd Pleaser or at the top of mid card?
I'm going to say bottom of Crowd Pleaser.
Now,
because
the last thing I'll make,
a lot of people like her. So once again, well, I know, are we putting her in the same category as Jade, Cargill, and all them? Yes, we are, because
you have
they're they're the group. So
we're not going to be disrespectful.
Ever had.
We're not going to be disrespectful to Zelina Vega like that. She is in the same. She is in the same level. Yeah, no, I'm saying, I'm not accusing you. I'm just saying we are not going to be. I think there are people who would be disrespectful.
Yeah.
We're not going to be disrespectful. No. We're going to put Zelina where she goes.
Fucking little motherfucker just like moves around
like
a
little spider monkey all over the fucking place.
I didn't even know what to call it.
All over the
fucking
words
right
place.
Out of my mouth.
Yeah. Last one.
Yes.
Charlotte Flair.
Box office?
Top of the box office, I believe.
Box office?
I believe.
She's Charlotte motherfucking. Not going to lie, I didn't even realize that was Charlotte Flair. Bitch looks so different all the time.
Charlotte Flair.
Okay.
This is the official WWE SmackDown rankings as we see them. Let's look at them. Make sure there's no tweaks we want to make before we go to the golden bonus.
I think it looks beautiful.
Person. So Charlotte and Bianca as box office, I think that's completely accurate. Charlotte's a one-man show.
Yeah.
She is. She's a dog. People buy tickets for Charlotte. The internet tries to pretend like everybody hates Charlotte.
No, you can't. You have to love her even if you hate her.
You respect how good she is.
Yeah.
She's the best back. Even like after I completely took shots at her this last week and said like she was disrespectful to Tiffany Stratton, she's still Charlotte motherfucking Flair.
Yeah.
She's still Charlotte Flair. Bianca number 2. I think that's yeah. If her merch just sold a little better, I think she could move ahead.
Mm-hmm. If they created some cooler merch.
Alexa and Tiffany, perfect spots.
Yep.
I think our crowd pleasers are perfect.
Yeah.
Chelsea, and this is the one where I promise you, Lauren, we're gonna get hate for this right here. There are going to be people who want to put her ahead of Tiffany Stratton, and I'm not gonna stand for it. I think it's the comic. It's the comedy situation. If Chelsea wants to take off the comedy and show us what she can do without being funny, I'll have the argument. But until then, she's right where she needs to be. Mm-hmm. Naomi, Jade, Nia, Zelina, that's perfect.
Like it.
Michin, Piper Niven, B-Fab, Alba Fire, I think that's good. Then we got the Poison Pixie, the Dancing Girls, and Nikki Cross.
I don't think we could have nailed it much better.
I don't either. I think this is perfect.
Perfect.
I think this is perfect.
Beautiful.
Okay, so here's the fun part.
All right.
This is the fun part.
Okay.
Britt Baker. We're going to put Britt Baker on the list. Let's put our money where our mouth is and tell me where you would put Britt Baker on this list. A WWE version of Britt Baker. It's not, because I've had the argument, she hasn't wrestled in so long. Yeah, she's pissed off. She's disgruntled. Sure, if she came to WWE, she would need time to adapt.
Put her, like, just right out of the top of my head, right at crowd pleaser, maybe mainstream.
That's the argument I made myself.
I can't decide where. I think she's below Tiffany Stratton.
I think she's one below Tiffany.
And
because she can be serious. And I know everybody's going to hate this.
She gets elevated over my girl. My beautiful, beautiful girl.
Listen, hey, IWC, pay attention, because this is not me talking. This is Lauren talking. And I'm right here with Lauren.
Chelsea Green.
We love Chelsea Green.
I love Chelsea Green.
We love us Chelsea Green around here. But the reality is, when you're talking about commercial, Chelsea Green doesn't really have one of these, right? Chelsea Green's just extremely funny, and people enjoy. Bless
Sorry.
you. It's okay. They enjoy the comedic part of Chelsea Green. I've got to see more than that for her.
I could see like Tiffany Stratton and Britt Baker go 1-on-1 against each other. You know, and she could hold her own against her.
We're gonna get hate, and I don't care.
That's okay.
I don't care.
It's my opinion.
Yeah, I'm standing tall. So I said top 5.
Mm-hmm.
I might have misspoken. Okay, when this all comes to say, because we'll rank Raw down the road, and there's gonna be the Raw roster is gonna look a lot like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see.
Top 10.
And then
okay.
We'll do it up again.
I'll amend my earlier statement where I said Britt Baker would come in and be top 5. Now, does she have potential to be top 5? She has the potential to follow the exact path that CM Punk followed, right? Of coming in and being the biggest thing in that division. But I will confidently, extremely confidently say that she's at least top 10 in WWE if she comes over. And can we quit the narrative of the NXT girls? Like,
what?
I get, so there's just this argument that these NXT girls are so much better than the main roster girls. And I think later in the week or next week, I'm going to make one of the topics explanation of why, as great as these NXT girls are, they're playing a different game.
Yeah.
It's not, you don't stop telling me that Stephanie Vaquer and Julia are as good as women on the main. They're playing a different.
They would be in the main roster if they were.
They would already be main roster if they were, and they're great. And then potentially they may be there and may be better one day. But it's a different ball game when, like we say, you're not just trying to appease this middle subsection of the audience. When you have to appeal on a broad spectrum. Look what happened to Karrion Kross, guys. You have to pay attention. When you have to go, look what happened to Carmelo Hayes. When you go from entertaining a group this big to entertaining a group substantially bigger and having to appeal much broader, that sometimes it doesn't translate over to the next level. Hopefully it does for all these girls. I'll argue the Sol Ruca, to me, has probably more casual appeal than a Stephanie Vaquer or a Julia. I'll make that argument. I think that like a Cora Jade has the appeal, but I'm not going to argue at all right now. Like, I'm tired of this argument that the NXT girls are better. They have utmost potential. If you want to argue that the potential within the NXT audience is ridiculous, great. I'll have that argument, but not right now. Like,
yeah,
small. It's to me, it's Raw and SmackDown. Rank them wherever you want. It's NXT and then it's AEW. That's the way I see wrestling. And then TNA is the next one. But that's our list, guys. That's how casual fans see it. We want to hear from you. How would you rank the SmackDown women's roster? Who did we miss? Who ranked way too high? Drop your list in the comment section of the video. Jump into our Discord, post it there, or shoot it over to questions@casualwrestling.com and let me know what your thoughts were. And while you're at it, check out the Casual Wrestling merch store where you can get all kinds of cool stuff like the hoodie I'm wearing right now. Rep your favorite wrestling show with the freshest gear in the game. I am the notorious Dirty D. That is Level Up Lauren. This was CWCD, Casual Wrestling Conversation Daily. Stay casual, wrestling in the world. We'll catch you tomorrow. Hit the final bell.
Ding, 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 ding.
Head down, we're ready to rumble. The casual pod don't stumble. No peace, no rest in this fight. Breaking it down under the spotlight. No forgiveness.